I first started eating 1 meal a day as a simple challenge. Do it for 30 days straight. But I loved it so much that I ended up doing it for a full year. And now, I can't go back. There's a big difference between being awake and being truly sharp. Fasting gave me that sharpness, that edge. There's real neuroscience behind it. A process called autophagy kicks in during extended fasting. Your body starts cleaning up damaged cells and regenerating itself. No matter how clean I ate before, I still dealt with that weird post-meal fatigue or heaviness. The truth is, we've all been sold a lie. The food industry wants us snacking, grazing, and dependent. That's how they win. That's how they keep us buying. Let me give you some context. I spent years deep in the fitness industry. I was immersed in books, studies, forums, coaches, and podcasts. And I reached a point of total paralysis by analysis. Everyone had a different opinion. Some said, eat 5 meals a day to keep your metabolism firing. Others said, fast for longevity. Eat carbs before training. Never eat carbs. Go paleo, carnivore, keto. It was madness. I'm not the type who just reads something and moves on. When I heard a new idea, I'd immediately think, okay, how does this fit my body? I'd test it, live it, adjust it. That's how I've always learned, through direct experience. I wanted to feel the truth in my own physiology, not just hear it echoed in studies or social media. So I tried every diet under the sun: paleo, keto, carnivore, low carb, no carb, carb backloading, high fat, IFYM, 5 meals a day. Not out of desperation, but out of deep curiosity to understand my own biology. And eventually, that curiosity led me to the simplest, most radical shift of all, OMAD, 1 meal a day. I didn't choose OMAD because it was trending. I chose it because I was done. Done being ruled by food. Done revolving my day around meals. Done with the Tupperware life, eating in the car at the gym, planning my calendar around meal timing, obsessing over protein intake and carb sources. I was in great physical shape, but mentally exhausted. Food took up way too much space in my life. And I wasn't overeating or binging. I followed every correct protocol: high-protein breakfast, pre-workout carbs, post-workout shakes, clean eating, perfect macros. Yet I was still bloated more often than not, a little foggy, always thinking about my next meal, unsatisfied even when full, weirdly anxious if I missed a feeding window. I clearly remember scarfing down oats and protein powder in my car between clients, feeling guilty for eating too early or too late. Googling things like, can you gain fat if you eat carbs after 9 p.m.? Trying to hit 150 grams of protein like my life depended on it, and still feeling like I was falling behind. That's when I realized this isn't working. And more than that, this isn't freedom. I didn't want to feel chained to food. I wanted control over my own biology. So I said, screw it. I'm eating once a day for 30 days. One solid, complete meal. No snacks, no hacks. Let's see what happens. Week 1 was a slap in the face. You don't realize how conditioned you are until you try to break the pattern. I'd be fine, focused during training. Then out of nowhere, my stomach would growl and my brain would freak out. Feed me now. It wasn't real hunger. It was habitual panic. Science-wise, your hunger hormone, ghrelin, spikes when it expects food because you trained it that way. You told it, I eat at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. So now it throws tantrums when you change the schedule. But the beauty is, it adapts just as fast. By day 5 or 6, those hunger pangs weren't hitting as hard. By day 10, I wasn't even thinking about food until late afternoon. I was still training hard, working full days, and I had mental clarity I hadn't felt in years. No crashes, no midday slump. Just long, clean focus and deep energy, like I'd unlocked a second gear. Digestion? The best it's ever been. No bloating, no food hangovers. By day 30, I'd unintentionally solved 4 problems I'd accepted as normal: the micromanaging, the cravings, the hunger spikes, the constant tracking. All gone. That's when I decided this wasn't just a challenge, it was a new operating system. Some people will say, why not just eat like a normal person, 3 balanced meals a day? I get it. That's what we've been told is healthy and responsible. But nothing I've ever done is normal. I don't follow normal because I don't want a normal life. Normal to me is average. Normal is Homer Simpson. I want to feel extraordinary, physically, mentally, spiritually. Sometimes that means going left when the world goes right. OMAD might not be normal, but neither am I. That's exactly why it worked for me. OMAD wasn't a gimmick or a fat loss hack for me. It became a way of life because it solved problems I didn't even know had solutions. Here's what made me stick with it: mornings without brain fog, a gut that finally felt quiet, freedom from food panic, stronger workouts, simpler days, a body I trusted again. First, mental clarity. There's a difference between being awake and being sharp. Fasting elevates norepinephrine for alertness and increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, for better memory and focus. But beyond the science, I felt it. I could work 4 to 6 hours straight in deep creative or strategic flow without reaching for snacks or distractions. That was new, and I didn't want to give it up. Second, digestive peace. My gut finally thanked me. Even eating clean before, I get that post-meal heaviness. But giving your digestive system 20+ hours off every day recalibrates everything. Autophagy cleans and regenerates cells. For someone who trains hard, that repair was everything. Third, simplicity. This might be the most underrated benefit. No more meal planning, prepping, macro counting, snack packing, constant interruptions. One meal, I ate it, enjoyed it, moved on. The mental real estate that freed up was incredible. I didn't just have more energy, I had more life in my day. Here are the things that truly surprised me over a full year of OMAD. I stopped craving sugar, completely. Before, I'd always want something sweet after dinner, even when full. After a few weeks of OMAD, that pull just dissolved. Not willpower, chemistry. Fasting resets dopamine and insulin sensitivity. Your brain no longer needs sugar hits to feel good. Cravings aren't weakness. They're a hijacked reward system from hyperpalatable foods and constant stimulation. OMAD interrupts the loop, removes the noise, gives your brain the reset it needed. I had more energy, not less. I thought I'd feel drained. But when you stop digesting constantly, your body reallocates energy. Instead of wasting ADP on endless food processing, it uses it for movement, thinking, recovery. Fasting boosts mitochondrial biogenesis. More mitochondria equals more power. I felt it. Fasted training near max effort. Recovery just as good or better. Freedom from food anxiety. No more, did I pack enough? Will this meal ruin my macros? That mental load vanished. More presence, more calm. When I did eat, it was joyful, not stressful. Most people don't realize how much food controls them until they try not eating. That's when the panic hits, and you see food isn't just fuel. It's comfort, distraction, even identity. OMAD stripped away the noise. In the silence, I saw who was really in charge, me or the food. Taking back the wheel changed everything. Workouts didn't suffer, they improved. Fasted training was my biggest fear. It became a highlight. Strength stayed solid, endurance went up, joint inflammation went down. My body learned metabolic flexibility, tapping into fat for fuel efficiently. No more constant overfeeding. I wasn't missing out on social events. I used to think everything revolved around food. Then I realized it's really about connection. The beauty of OMAD, you can adapt when you want. I eat socially when I choose, and enjoy it. Most days, I don't feel deprived. I feel empowered. Quick note, if you're feeling injured, stiff, or you're a pro athlete wanting better mobility, my mobility toolkit is currently helping over 50,000 people in 40+ countries. From complete beginners to pro athletes, men and women in their 70s and 80s. If you have 15 minutes a day, you'll see dramatic results in weeks. Check it out. Link in the description. How does OMAD stack up against others? Paleo, great food quality, but too much fiber and still eating every few hours. Low/no carb, worked short term, but left me moody and foggy. Carb backloading, overcomplicated and fragile. High fat, full but mentally sluggish. IFYM, too much junk, numbers looked good, but I felt terrible. 5 meals a day, constant prep, and constant fatigue. Carnivore, helped inflammation short-term, but socially restrictive and unsustainable long-term. OMAD won because it reduced complexity. In that simplicity, I found freedom, energy, clarity, and control. The food industry wants us dependent. OMAD is a rebellion. I'm not a monk. On heavy training days, I'll add a shake, eggs, or fruit earlier. It's intuitive, flexible. You're in command. Myth 1, you'll lose muscle. No, not if you train hard and your meal is nutrient-dense. Muscle loss comes from inactivity, not fasting. Myth 2, not for women. Hormones don't make you fragile. Ultra-processed food, poor sleep, and stress do. Women have fasted for thousands of years. Myth 3, you'll binge at night. Only if you restrict stupidly during the day. A complete meal leaves you nourished, not desperate. Myth 4, it's starvation. Starvation is eating 6 times a day and still feeling inflamed and anxious. OMAD is freedom. Myth 5, no social life. If your social life only revolves around food, that's disguised addiction. OMAD kills dependency, not connection. Would I recommend it? Yes, but only if you're ready to experiment and take full responsibility. Great for busy entrepreneurs and high performers who want razor-sharp mental focus. People who've tried every diet and still feel stuck. Anyone craving structure and peace around food. High-functioning humans who want simplicity without suffering. Not for those with active or recent eating disorders. People needing to gain weight or recovering from illness/injury. Athletes in high volume or multiple daily training phases. People think OMAD is extreme. What's extreme is eating all day, obsessing over food every 2 hours, carrying Tupperware everywhere, and still feeling like crap. OMAD is intentional and, when done intelligently, the most sustainable rhythm there is. If you're unsure, start with 30 days, just like I did. Not as a diet, but as a self-experiment. What happens when food no longer runs your life? That answer is worth finding. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment if you've tried OMAD. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.